भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So today is the most auspicious Govardhana Puja. So I'm going to discuss Govardhan Lila today. So some very beautiful insights from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, so we'll start with a prayer. So there are multiple prayers. There's one very famous one in Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 21, verse 18. So we'll just chant that 1 second. Open that. 10, 21. हन्ताय मद्रिरबला हरिदासवर्यो यद्रामकृष्णचरणस्पर्शः प्रमोदः मानं तनोति सह गोगणयोस्तयोर्यत् पानीयसूयवस कन्दरकन्दमूलैः. Of all the devotees, this Govardhana hill is the best. Oh, my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram along with their calves, cows, and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respects to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan hill appears very jubilant. Sparasha pramodaha, jubilant. So this is the exalted position. Haridasa Varyaha is the best among the servants of the Lord. Why is the best? Why is it the best among the servants of the Lord? Because he supplies everything for Krishna, Balaram, their calves, cows, and cowherd friends. So Krishna takes all the cows for grazing, and mostly when they go out, they come to Govardhan, and of course on the banks of Yamuna, etc. So Govardhan gives all the required necessities, provides for all the required necessities like water for drinking, soft grass, caves. What is the use of caves? Krishna enters these caves when it is raining. Fruits, flowers, vegetables. So we know that the cowherds graze, take their cows for grazing on the Govardhana, because after the Brahma Vimohana Leela, by the end of the year, so Balaram observes this, that there are cows grazing on top of Govardhan, and then there are these calves who are actually Krishna, who has expanded himself as these calves, who are at the foots of the Govardhan hill, and the cows see these calves and start running towards them, like and then that whole pastime happens. So Balaram is observing this. So the cows were on top of Govardhan, and they run down to meet their calves. So like this, so so many pastimes. We also do Govardhan Parikrama, and there are so many pastime places. Actually, we don't, when we normally go on Govardhan Parikrama, we don't see many of the important places, but there are so many amazing places. In fact, there's a little bit confusion about from Gaudiya Vaishnavas perspective. So there is that. So Govardhan is in the form of a peacock. So the tail is where Lota Baba is there, called Punchuri, uh, Punch, like which means tail. And then for us there is also Govardhan's tongue, which is called Jiva Mandir, which is with Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Bhajan Kutir, so that place, and which is just after Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi, right on the banks of Radhakund. So just after that comes this Jiva Mandir. So there are various, that's the tongue, that's the tail, etc., and various significant places of pastime places in and around Govardhan. So Govardhan is very, very dear to Krishna. So there are also other prayers in Garga Samhita, etc. So we will discuss. So this is from Garga Samhita. Actually, in Garga Samhita, it's described that when Krishna had to come down for his pastimes to this material world, so he goes to Radharani and tells her, saying that it's time that he has to descend to the universe for his pastimes. And Radharani says that she's not going to come unless there is Yamuna, there's Vrindavan, Yamuna, and Govardhan. So we know Radha, how Krishna appeared, how Radharani appeared. We'll also hear how Govardhan appeared. So we know that there are multiple dvipas, right? So we are in this Jambu Dvipa. So then there is also something called as Salmali Dvipa. So there is a mountain by name Dronachal. Now Dronachal, so Dronachal's wife gives birth to a son. So Dronachal is a mountain, and so he gives birth to a son, and that son is called Govardhan. And at the time of Govardhan's birth, all the demigods appeared in the sky, showered flowers, and even great mountains like Himalaya, Sumeru, they came offering respects and prayers because they knew that Govardhan had descended from Goloka Vrindavan. And they accepted Govardhan as the king, as their king of all mountains, and he was described as crown jewel of Braja, crown jewel. Braja, what is the money, Mukut money, like that. And they performed Parikrama of Govardhan at that time. So then, at the beginning of Satyuga, Pulastya Muni, who is actually in Jambudvipa, he goes to Salmali Dvipa. And then when he goes there, he sees this beautiful Govardhan. Actually, there is description about Govardhan in many scriptures. And it's described that it's covered with many lovely creepers, flowers, rivers, caves, chirping birds, very scenic, serene atmosphere. Now, Pulastamani thinks that, oh, this is amazing. So Pulastamani he does his austerities in Kashi. He thinks that, okay, this is nice. I should take this mountain to Kashi. So then Pulastamani goes to Drona, and then he tells that, that Kashi is so auspicious, that there is Ganga, but there are no hills of such beauty as Govardhan. So he says, I want to take Govardhan along. But then Dronachal feels very sad. He did not want to give up Govardhan. So he starts crying. But then Then Govardhan, he thought that, okay, Pulastya become angry and curse his father. So he asked, saying that, okay, Rishi, how are you going to carry me? I'm so heavy. Pulastya Muni says, no, no, no problem. I will carry you on my right hand. So Govardhan says, okay, but then one condition. If you put me down anywhere during the course of the journey, then you won't be able to lift me again. I will just reside there only. So Pulastya Muni agreed. He was a very powerful sage. So he said, okay, no problem. I will take you till Kashi. So on the way to Kashi, Pulastya Muni passed through Braja. And Govardhan saw the beauty of the place and he wished to remain there. He didn't know that he had actually come to actually appear there. So he just thought, oh, this is so nice. I want to remain here. And then by his powers, there was call of nature for Pulasthimani. Pulasthimani was powerful enough, but Govardhan was devotee. So he had more power. So he kind of made a situation where Pulastya had to attend the call of nature. So he puts Govardhan down urgently and then goes to do his work, duty, and then he comes back and he's not able to lift Govardhan at all. And then Pulastya thinks that, oh, you see, you tricked me, so I'm going to curse you. And he curses him to daily sink into the ground to the extent of 1 mustard seed a day. So the original size of Govardhan was actually 8 yojanas long. 8 yojanas. So which is 1 yojana is what? 3 miles, 2 miles. How much is 1 yojana? Yojana, 2 miles. 8 to 10 miles. Yeah, sorry, 8 to 10 miles. So, so this was how many yojanas? 8 yojanas. So, yeah, about 64 miles. 64 miles long, 40 miles wide, and 16 miles high. Now, but it has been sinking. It's been sinking. So now it's maybe at its highest point, it might be maybe few meters high. So that was the appearance of Govardhan. Now, coming to the event of Govardhan Puja itself. So what happens is after Krishna gives mercy to the Brahmanas' wives, who all came to offer food to Krishna. So Krishna remains in that village. And then he observes that Nanda Maharaj and cowherd men were arranging for a sacrifice to Indra. Now, Krishna was now about 7 years, and Krishna had been seeing this kind of puja happening every year, but he had not interfered. Now it looks like time had come that he had to destroy Indra's pride. So then he goes to his father and he humbly inquires. So he asks, my dear father, Baba, kindly explain what this great endeavor of yours is all about. Why are you doing this? What do you want to accomplish? Also, is this some kind of ritual? Then is it given in the Shastra or is it some kind of family tradition? And who is going to be, for whose satisfaction are you doing this? How are you going to execute it? So he's asking so many questions. Now, he is just 7-year-old. So just imagine, a 7-year-old child comes and starts asking big questions. Parents will say, hey, just go and play. So Krishna thinks that, oh, my father will dismiss my question. So then he also gives some logic, saying that, see, you're my well-wisher. Well-wisher means you should not hide anything from me. So you please see, if you please tell, I can understand what you say, like that. So he's trying to convince Baba, Nanda Baba, to answer. So his whole point was he wanted to understand what this is all about. He knew everything, but he is just asking. So then, and then Nanda Maharaj replies saying that, see, Indra, the great Lord Indra, is the controller of rain, and the clouds are his personal representatives, and they directly provide rainwater. And because we depend on, we are cowards, and cows require grass, and Indra, by pouring rain, nicely by that downpour of rain, so there is nice grass, and the cows are able to eat and give nice milk, and we are sustaining our lives because of this. So he is he is solely responsible for this. So we do this puja every year to please Indra, so that he can continue to offer his benedictions on us. Now Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says that one should not do demigod worship, avidhi purvakam. He says that only men with little poor fund of knowledge, less intelligence, they go worship demigods for material benefits. Now, when Krishna is saying this in Bhagavad Gita, now just imagine his dearest devotees, the Brajavasis, they are doing demigod worship. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that, in one sense, like a little bit Krishna was angry. And Krishna wanted to stop this demigod worship. Number one. Number two, Indra had become very puffed up because of his position, and he thought that he deserved this puja. So it became very puffed up, and his arrogance had to be cut down. And of course, then there are some very internal reasons why Krishna wanted to do this Govardhan Leela. So every day when Krishna has his own schedule. So in the morning, Krishna is woken up by Yashoda Mata, and then after that, she gets him ready, and then he goes with his cowherd friends to milk the cows. And then sometimes they practice wrestling for some time. Then they come back to Nanda Bhavan, and then Yashoda Mata gets him, bathes him, and then dresses him, and then breakfast time. So then Krishna has breakfast. Of course, the description of Krishna's breakfast is amazing. Radharani comes to prepare Krishna's breakfast, and then so many innumerable items are being made. Anyway, that's for some other discussion. And then Krishna leaves after breakfast. He takes all the cows and goes to Vrindavan forest and Govardhan and so on. Then after till about 12 o'clock, Krishna is with his Gopa friends, and then he escapes from there unnoticed and goes to meet gopis. And he's with the gopis till about 3:30. And then he again comes back, calls his cows through, uses his flute, calls all his various 108 groups of cows, and then brings them back home. And then again takes bath, goes to milk the cows. Of course, then he has a little snack in between. Lunch is in the forest. Then he has a little snack. Then again he goes to milk the cows, and comes back, and there is everybody gathers in Nanda Bhavan, like a meeting. Everybody comes together, and then there's some entertainment which happens, and then Krishna goes to his room to sleep. And then in the night again, he, without anybody noticing, he goes to the forest for his pastimes with the gopis. Again, by early morning, he comes back to his room, and this goes on. Now, what happens is all his devotees. So if you see, for devotees in Vatsalya Bhav, devotees in Dasya Bhav, so is bathing Krishna, dressing him up, then taking his lunch to the forest. These are some of the services that devotees in Dasya do, and they get Krishna only for some little time. Okay. Now next rasa, Sakhya. Now Sakhya, he's there with the Sakhas a little bit in the morning. After getting up, goes to milk the cows. He's there for some time with them. Then he comes back, having lunch. Okay, there also he's having breakfast. He spends time with his sakas. Then again takes the cows and goes to the forest. Again he's with the sakas. But then again in the middle of the day, he escapes, right? So he's not there. So the sakas don't get Krishna. And then coming back again, he comes back, and then he's spending quite some time with them. Again in the night he goes. So overall he's with the sakas also for different parts of the day, and for different parts of the day and night he's not there with them. Similarly the gopis, similarly Nanda Baba, Yashoda. So all the devotees are not, their love for Krishna is such that they want to be with Krishna all the time, but Krishna is not giving them all the time, right? Uh, so Krishna decides, saying that, okay, I'm going to give special mercy to all my devotees, that I'm going to be with all of them at the same time for 7 days and nights. Mm. So many reasons why Krishna decided to lift Govardhan. So you all know. So then Krishna, after this, Krishna says that no, but why karma is supreme? This is called karma mimamsa. So he's just making some argument to convince Nanda Baba to do Govardhan Puja. So he says karma is supreme. Now, if there is no karma, then there is no phala. So which means that this coming of rain is because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, saying that, the cycle of yagna. If somebody does yagna, their prescribed duty, then rain has to come. Now, Indra, what is Indra doing? Indra has to just give the rain. Now, Indra is giving rain based on our karma. So Indra is not important. And anyway, Indra also pours rains on the ocean, on mountains, which don't require any rain. Like that, he's arguing. He's saying, okay, so Indra is not important. Our karma is important. So our karma is, we are cowards, and we are graze. We have cows and we need grass. And who is giving grass? Govardhan is giving grass. So we have to worship Govardhan. So like this, he puts up a logic, and he says that, okay, now we are all dependent on Govardhan, and hence we should worship Govardhan. So how should we worship Govardhan? You prepare all kinds of food. So, and this description in Bhagavatam says, from sweet rice to vegetable soups, supa. It's called supa. Then there are cakes, not our kind of modern cakes, but there are cakes, milk products, etc. So he says, prepare all this, then do yagna, let the brahmanas chant Vedic mantras, then feed the brahmanas, priests, with nice food, give them cows and other gifts. And then everybody should get prasadam, including dogs, dog eaters, etc. And then give grass to the cows, and then you present whatever you cooked to Govardhan. Then after everyone has eaten to their satisfaction, dress nicely, decorate yourself handsomely, then circumambulate, do parikrama, do pradakshina of Govardhan. And he says, see, this is my idea of Govardhana Puja. This is what needs to be done. If it appeals to you, carry out this. And Krishna makes one, punching, powerful statement. He says, such a sacrifice will be very dear to the cows, brahmanas, Govardhan hill, and also to me. So Go Brahmana Hitacha. He says it will be very dear to the cows, go to the Brahmanas, Brahmana. Govardhan hill, because we are dependent on Govardhan hill, and also more importantly to me. Of course, he doesn't say more importantly, but for the Vrajavasis, that was the only thing they wanted to hear. Oh, this is going to please Krishna. So they just said, okay, fine, whatever you say, Krishna. So then they make a huge Annakuta. Mountain. Annakuta means mountain of rice. Then so they make a huge Annakuta, and then Krishna takes up a huge form and appears in front of everybody on top of Govardhan. And he says, I am Govardhan mountain. So he's standing at the bottom of the foothill of Govardhan, and then on top of Govardhan he himself appears. And then he says that I'm Govardhan. And the Krishna who is standing at the foothill of Govardhan is offering obeisances to his own form. So, which is why Govardhana Shila is so worshipable, right? Because Krishna himself offered obeisances to the mountain. And then Govardhan eats everything that has been offered, and then he wants more. So he says, Aniyor, Aniyor. So today, wherever this pastime happened, there's a village called Aniyor. So they're bringing everything from here, there, whole village, whatever was there, everything exhausted, and then the neighboring villages, people are bringing stuff. Everything is over, and all the Vrajavasis are worried, saying that Govardhan his appetite seems to be infinite. It's just not getting satisfied at all. And then what to do? Then Krishna just says, no, 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 don't worry. Just put one tulsi leaf, put some tulsi manjaris on that whatever little offering you have, and then Govardhan will be satisfied. And then they do that, and then Govardhan is satisfied. And after that, as per Krishna's instructions, everybody is fed, etc. And then they all circumambulate Govardhan. Oh, what happens? Indra becomes furious. So he does not know or he does not understand Krishna's position. He thinks this is some little talkative boy. He says, because of this little talkative boy, these Vrajavasis have given up my worship. Let me show them who I am. And then in that arrogance, pride, he calls for the clouds of destruction called Samvartaka. So he thinks that he is the supreme controller and he's going to destroy Vrindavan. What arrogance, what pride does to a person. Loses his intelligence. So he's thinking that cowherd men intoxicated by their wealth, they're neglecting this puja, and so he becomes angry. Saying that these cowherd men acted inimically towards me by taking shelter of this ordinary human being, Krishna, who thinks himself very wise, but he's simply a foolish, arrogant, over-talkative child. This is what Indra is thinking. That they have behaved inimically towards me and they've taken shelter of this ordinary human being, Krishna, who thinks himself very wise, but who is simply a foolish, arrogant, over-talkative child. So he sends Samvartaka, and then there are torrents of rain, like each drop the size of a pillar. And all the cows and other animals are really badly affected, and they are like shivering from excessive rain, wind, pained by the cold, and they all approached Govinda for shelter. Because Govinda, he is the one who gives happiness to go. So they all go to Govinda. And they're all trying to cover their heads and calves with their own bodies. And so they approach lotus feet of Krishna. And then all the coward men and women address Krishna, oh Krishna, Krishna, oh most fortunate one. Please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. Please deliver the cows, because they are also not able to see the suffering of the cows, and they know that Krishna loves the cows more than anything else. So he says, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. Also, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. They didn't go to first say save us. They first said save the cows. And you are always affectionate to your devotees. So please save us also. And so we can understand actually in the lives of the Vrajavasis, Krishna is everything. So whatever he says, they're ready to do. If there is any problem, they simply naturally depend on Krishna without thinking that Krishna is the supreme Lord. You just save us also. So Krishna becomes angry because he sees that the inhabitants of Gokula are actually rendered practically unconscious by this onslaught of hail and blasting wind. So he then becomes, in some sense, angry also. So then he decides to use his own mystic power to counteract Indra and decides to destroy his pride and ignorance. Then he thinks that, okay, when I break his false prestige, I will bring him relief. Mm. And then he thinks, yeah, I'm the master of their coward community, and so they are my own family. And I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. So, thinking, Krishna just with his little finger picked up Govardhan on his left hand little finger. Hmm. There is some insight. Now, Krishna runs from wherever they are standing and talking to Govardhan. He runs to the Govardhan, foot of Govardhan hill to lift him. Now, as he was running, obviously there's so much of rain, right? Now, Krishna would have got drenched. No, Krishna didn't get drenched because he a partial expansion of his Yogamaya potency named Samhariki. He temporarily removed all rain from the sky so that so that he ran very swiftly from his house to the mountain. And neither his turban nor his garments became wet. So this is Yogamaya. Krishna is not thinking that I should be dry, I should not become drenched. But Yogamaya is doing her work. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. Then Krishna addresses the coward community. So he lifts the Govardhan, and then he's seeing that they all are hesitating. And also they were thinking that, okay, there are thousands of cows, calves, bulls, and so on. How can they all fit in this under the base of this medium-sized hill, Govardhan? But then what happens is because the uh, Krishna has touched Govardhan. So this Govardhan suddenly, because of ecstasy, he just becomes, he expands himself infinitely. And also, Govardhan gets inconceivable power. Because of which, even though there was so much of thunderstorms, hails, this, that, and all that, nothing affected him. And Harivamsha, he says that Govardhan can give shelter to all the three worlds. What to speak of the simple land of Raja? So he tells then all the coward community saying that, no, don't worry, come here. Don't worry, don't think that the mountain will fall from my hand. Don't be afraid. So he calls all of them. And then their minds pacified by Krishna, they all enter beneath the hill. And when they go in there, there is a description in Gopala Champu that there is some kind of a staircase. So they get down that staircase, and then there is a whole like town there with all facilities required for them residing there happily. All requirements are already there. Everything is there. So all of them go, and then they all stand in different groups and different circles, like um, unmarried girls are with their mothers, then the married gopis are with their with mother-in-laws, and then there are gopas, and so many. Everybody is down there now in front of Krishna. Mm. And actually, it is said that because of the touch of Krishna's lotus hand, Gordon was so much in ecstasy that he was literally like flying in the air. So then all the so many beautiful exchanges happen, when all the Brajavasis are there here. And then we know about this Lota Baba. Lota Baba was one of those cowherds who thought that, oh, how can Krishna uphold the hill himself? He's so small. He's such a small boy. So no. We'll all hold up Govardhan by our lathis, by our sticks, and then all the cowards, take that stick, their cowherding stick, and then they put it as support, Govardhan. And then Krishna, just little, few centimeters, he brings the hill down, and all the sticks break, and then says, no, don't worry. I'm lifting it. You don't have to get worked up. And then Mother Yashoda, she's the most distressed. Actually, everybody was happy there, because they're getting to see Krishna, and they're with Krishna, and Krishna is standing in his, three-fold bent form, and on his left hand, he's lifting Govardhan. right hand he's holding the flute and is playing his flute. Um, everybody is happy except Yashoda. Yashoda is looking at Krishna saying, Krishna, you've been lifting over the hill for so long. Now it's been almost a day now. You've been standing all alone. And it must be so heavy and you must be so tired. And what is the point? The point is you have not eaten anything since morning. Now that's what Yashoda's concern is. Like, Krishna, you have not eaten anything. Now, if you can stop blowing your flute, playing your flute for some time, then let me feed something to you. And then Madhumangal comes and he creates, Madhumangal is always funny. He creates like jovial, jolly atmosphere. He comes and says, Oh, Mother Yashoda, Maya, why are you worrying? You don't know how Krishna is lifting Govardhan. You think that Krishna is feeling very tired. No, no, no. It's all because of my mantra. It's all because of my mantra that Govardhan is just floating in the air. Krishna is not lifting anything. Then Yashoda like becomes a little bit angry. Says, "Oh, yeah, okay. If it is then because of your mantra, then why does Krishna even have to stand there? Let Krishna come down. Let the mountain float on its own." And she gets like gets on to Madhumangal's case. Then Nanda Maharaj says, no, 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 why? Yeah, it's okay. What Madhumangal is saying, Krishna is lifting. He's not feeling really tired about it. Hmm. Like this, they are trying to convince Yashoda. So, but Yashoda says, no, no, nothing doing. Okay, you can stand there, you can hold the mountain, but I'm going to feed you. I have to feed you something. Now, you do one thing, you take out your flute and let me feed you. Okay, mm, Krishna is the wants to please all his devotees. So then Yashoda Maya comes and feeds Krishna. uh, and then at one point of time, suddenly like there is so Krishna is sweating and like his hands are like a little bit shivering and all that, and everybody's thinking, oh, maybe because now with the weight is getting to Krishna. No, but actually not. uh, Actually what happens at that time is Krishna happens to see Radharani. Mm. And the look and Radharani looking at Krishna is not able to hold himself together. uh, um, so all these like amazing, beautiful pastimes happen. And then yeah, after 7 days and nights, by that time, it's also said that in fact, not even one more version of the narration says that there is Krishna Sudarshana, which was rotating on top of Govardhana. So there was actually not even nothing fell on Govardhana at all. And 7 days, 7 nights, and Samvartaka clouds pouring, relentless rain, and then the Indra comes down on his Airavat and says, "What is this? Nothing has happened." So then he realizes, saying that he's playing with a much bigger power, and that it must be that of the Supreme Lord. Then he realizes, saying that he's done a big blunder by taking on Krishna, offending him, and so then he withdraws his clouds and then stops all the nonsense. And yeah, then there is sunshine and everything seems fine. And then Krishna tells all the Vrajavasis saying that, okay, you can go now. Everything is now calm, no problem. And then they all go out, and then Krishna just puts the mountain down. Now, Indra is pretty frightened now because he figured that this is Krishna, his worshipable Supreme Lord. But then he's because he's afraid. He doesn't know how can he go and even beg for forgiveness from Krishna. So then he thinks, no, 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 Krishna likes cows. So let me take Surabhi. So in the heavenly mountains, the heavenly planets, there is a planet of Surabhi cows. These are not the Goloka cows. These are from the heavenly planet. So he goes, takes Surabhi and goes to where Krishna was. And then he falls at his feet. Yeah, he puts Surabhi in front. Surabhi then says that, go. Indra is really repentant of his blunder, of his mistake, and he was seeking forgiveness, etc. And then Indra falls at his feet. And then Surabhi says that, now you become our Indra. So we want to actually do Abhisheka to you. Now, Krishna actually didn't want his pastimes with his, Brajavasis be interrupted by all these, demigods coming and worshipping. But yeah, because situation was like this, he creates a situation wherein none of his cowherd boys are around to see. Of course, one narration says that they saw, another narration says that they didn't see anything. Um, so and then Indra and all the demigods, Surabhi, and they all do Abhishekam to Govinda, and that is when he's gets his name Govinda, and so there is that Govinda Kund today. And that uh, Govinda Kund is also such an amazing place because Srila Madhavendra Puri's pastime also happened on the banks of this Govinda Kund. Mm. So like this, there are so many amazing pastimes. And this Govardhana Shila is actually not different from the Supreme Lord, but he's also considered as a devotee, but also as the Supreme Lord. So we should be very careful not to step on those Govardhana Shilas, and also not consider it as some stone that I can just bring and start worshipping. No, it again requires permission of Guru if you have to worship Govardhana. And we are very fortunate. We have a Govardhan Shila in our temple, and we will have nice Abhisheka and all that today. So our program is starting from 10:30. So everybody who has time can please join. Okay, so this is the in chart. To be so many details, but this is the this is the gist of the Govardhan Parikrama, Govardhan Puja pastime. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anybody wants to add something to this from whatever you heard or you read, you can please do so.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, like we all know that we should not be stepping onto the Govardhan Sila. But while doing parikramas, especially when you go to the this thing, there are places, Barsana say, when you go into that, we do step into quite a long route.
No, it's not. It's actually not. Now what they've done is at least on the inner parikrama path is they put stones, meaning say whatever man, whatever they put created some path to walk. So it's safe to walk on that path. It's better not to walk on the sand or this side or that side. Just follow the path, and on that is a walking path. So there are no Govardhana Shilas, and if there are Govardhana Shilas, obviously we should avoid. In fact, there is this in Jatipura, where everybody thinks that is the the face of Govardhan or mouth of Govardhan, and I don't enter that place because I saw very closely, inside that compound that they have put. Actually, it looks like the hill only, right? It looks like cement, but it's not because it's not flat. So it is curved, and to me it looked like the hill, part of the hill. So I normally just offer obeisances from outside, and any which way actually our acharyas don't think that is the Mukharavind. So it's just become one more place. But yeah, we have to be very careful, just because everybody is doing, we should not do, because our acharyas have a very different view about this. There might be other paramparas who might not really, give so much importance to not climbing the hill, right? Because till Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even Madhavendra Puri also climbed the hill, because Gopal asked him to install, uh, him on the hill. So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us saying that he never got on top of, he never stepped on Govardhan. So for us, it's very, very important to follow this principle. So we should try.
Because quite a stretch, and like you said, Jatipur also, Prabhu, when you get down and you join the parikrama mark, even there you have a lot of Govardhan, this thing. And like I will sound a lot more karmi like you see that people pick up Govardhan Silas and place it one over the other, yeah, having a belief that you can make your own house.
We
And so
should
we
not.
all, yeah, I mean,
We should avoid all this. Yeah.
Prabhu, next time
Yeah.
I'll keep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Rohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that pastime about Madhumangal says Krishna is lifting because of my mantra. How do they spend those 7 days? So, is there any more detailed description, Prabhu?
Gopala Champu has so many of our acharyas have written. I mean, every acharya has written some detail about Govardhan Puja. There are these commentaries by our acharyas on the 10th canto that has details. Then there are other books by. So yeah, there's a lot of material for about this. And this is there's no limit, there's no end to the pastimes. It's just whatever little we would have, heard by Govardhan's mercy, we can share. That's all. But it's actually just description of Govardhan itself. Before beginning of Gopal Champu, then there is Anand Vrindavan Champu. So many books are there. So many details are there.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and this is true of any of Krishna's pastimes. Then, His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu has written a book on Vajalila, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. There are details. Then, His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj has written Govardhan Parikrama, that book that has details. So many, so many. I mean, like I said, what we have to do is we have to come to the stage of mukti, right? Meaning stop getting too bothered by material life, then seek permission from Guru, and then read. We have to get into this, drown ourselves in this, literature of our previous acharyas, before which we should have be reasonably stable with, Prabhupada's purports, understood the mood, following all the instructions, doing everything that is expected out of us as a devotee in ISKCON, as per Srila Prabhupada. And then we should enter into the depth of these pastimes. And that is when we are going to actually get into like serious contemplation about Krishna's pastimes. Yeah. Yeah, Vinod Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavат
Yeah.
Pranam. So Prabhu,
Pranam, Prabhu.
so is Dinabandhu Prabhu is still offering the tours, because when we
Yeah.
visited, right, first time when we visited Govardhan, that was during the Shravan Kirtan camp by
Mm-hmm.
Guru Maharaj. Then
Okay.
that was the first time we stepped into Vrindavan. And then me with small kids, it was more painful than
Yeah, yeah.
really experiencing, uh, the real, the hidden pastimes of all the places. So, I mean, what is the what when you visit Prabhu? How do you get any assistance from devotees locally there, or you took tours, or I mean, you went on those tours with
No,
Dinabandhu
the
Prabhu? How do
fortunate,
you all experience uh, the
yeah,
glories of
fort,
Vrindavan or Govardhan?
fortunately, I was with in one very amazing yatra with Dinabandhu Prabhu many years back.
Oh, Haribol.
And over the years, with all whatever reading that I have done, actually, last year we went by ourselves on a 5 day go yatra, not just around
Oh, okay.
Govardhan, around Vrindavan,
Mhm.
also so many places. So yeah, it's all now nicely documented. And if we have, if we know these things, then we know where to go, what pastime, where not to go, etc., etc. So we do that. But yeah, I think Dinabandhu Prabhu is still doing in Kartik. Kartik he does.
Mhm, mhm.
And then there's that Rajamandal Parikrama. If somebody has that 1 month, you can join them.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Dinabandhu Prabhu also conducts his tours during that time.
Yeah. So if you come across anything like that, Prabhu, if you can let us know, maybe in the group you can let us know. That will be
Oh,
helpful.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay, sure.
Prabhu, is there a, I mean, we heard, but we didn't see that place. Is there a place where Mahaprabhu, he paid obeisances to Govardhan, and then his whole body is imprinted on one of those, stones? Is that true, Prabhu? Have you visited that place?
Not in Raj. I have
Okay,
not seen.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hare Krishna
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about Jagannath Puri Prabhuji, where
Yeah,
Mahaprabhu
Jagannath
is
Puri is
yeah,
there, but
yeah,
I don't know of anything in Vraj like that. Of
no,
course, now His Holiness Jaipadak Maharaj, by his mercy, lotus footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all the important pastime places, actually. And in fact, I mean, we saw so many. I mean, for example, in this where Madhavendra Puri plays, then there's Pavan Sarovar, so many places everywhere. This what is it? Charan Pahadi, where the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are installed, and with the relevant words either from Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita or some Gaudiya scripture indicating the glory of that place in connection with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But apart from that, I have not seen anything else as such. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mahaprabhu's Mataji, we have seen that, in Alarnath temple,
Yeah,
when we
Alalnath.
visited, we have
Yeah.
seen Mahaprabhu's imprints.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Okay. Thank you all for joining. Wish you all very good, very happy Govardhan Puja. And yeah, we'll continue our bread and butter discussion from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Govardhan Maharaj ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Vaishnavabhyo ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to everybody assembled. Have Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhu Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu
Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Pranam to everybody. Okay, I'm disconnecting.